Hi, Sofa King Drunk back again with yet another attempt at an ale review. What I'm going to do just now is a Scottish ale. It's one from the traditional Scottish ales. It's a Ben Nevis India Pale Ale. 4% on the Richter scale for this. Ben Nevis, for anyone who doesn't know, is the highest mountain in the British Isles, located in Scotland in the Grampian region. A place called Lochaiba, which is near Fort William. So I don't actually know how big it is. I think it's about 4,000 feet or something like that. But there'll be someone out there who'll be able to tell me how high it is. But it's very, very famous anyway, all over the world. Ben Nevis, so obviously it's going to have a beer. I think it's actually got a whiskey named after it as well, to be honest with you. So anyway, 4%, traditional Scottish ales based in Stirling. Bit hit and a miss, these guys, with a lot of people. They either like them or they don't like them. I've tried a couple of their brews and they're okay. So I'm not holding out much here for this. This one was given to me by a good friend of mine's, who was away up, where were they? They were away up somewhere anyway, up on the West Highland Way trail. They weren't walking the West Highland Way, but they were away up there. Is it? Oh, I can't remember the name of the place they told me they were. There's a little shop up there and they saw the ales and they thought, I'll bring one back to old Sofa King. He likes his ale. So they've been told. So anyway, there we go. It's not really looking that impressive in the glass. As I said, it's kind of no head on it, which us Scots up here, we like a bit of head in our beer. This is actually not been chilled at all. I've actually had it out on the worktop. Although it is a bit cold up here, the house is pretty warm, but it's not looking appetising to me. So anyway, we'll go in here for the nose and see what it's actually classed itself as an Indian Pale Ale, which I need to check that out. And then, yeah, it does actually say an Indian Pale Ale on the back of it. But it looks very, well, is it just my imagination, but does that not look really dark to be an Indian Pale Ale? I stand corrected, maybe there is Indian Pale Ales like that. I thought they were slightly lighter than that, not as dark, but there you go, I might be wrong. So anyway, we'll go in here for the nose and see what the Ben Nevis from the traditional Scottish ales has to offer. Well, you're getting as always, you're getting like a little bit of caramel in there. A little bit of the little bit of citrus. A little trace of nut as well. But it's all about the taste, to be honest with you. So Sofa King Drunk, drinking the Ben Nevis, 4% the Richter scale. Slangy far. Well, it's got a nice kind of dry biscuitness about it. The caramel was there. The nut, as I said, a little trace. Very, very thin. I had a beer before this that I reviewed, and it was quite nice and thick and chewy. And maybe now, in hindsight's a wonderful thing. I should have done this one before I'd done the one that was nice and thick and chewy, because this tastes very, very thin to it. Maybe I'm not giving the beer justice, but it does taste very, very thin. Not flat thin. It's okay. It's bog standard. It's a session ale. 4%. You went out to the pub, someone hands you it, have a go at it. No problem. You could drink a lot of that at 4%. You could drink 8-10 pints of that. If you're a bigger drinker than that, you could drink a lot more of it. It's okay. It's nothing special. What puts me off it, to be honest with you, is the lack of head. Let's see if we can get a head on it, because everyone north of Watford likes a head in their beer. I can't understand how these southerners drink beer without heads on them. I know you're getting more beer and you're probably bigger drinkers than us because you're drinking more beer, but to be honest with you, see when you're in the house, do you not like a head in your beer? Like we get them up here, this is your bog standard pint glass, and we get a head. And if you're in a good pub and it's good beer, the head will sit maybe about that much over the glass, right? But even if you get it like that and it looks nice, I like to see a head in my beer. A lot of northerners do. It's just one of these things. You taste with your eyes, and that's when you first started getting into pubs. You like to see the head in the beer. You used to think when you were a lot younger, when you were 16 and 17, and you never shaved for about 8 months, and to make yourself look older, you went into the pub and you got a pint, and the barmaid put the pint in front of you, and you looked at the head and you go, oh, that's a good beer, that. You wouldn't know it was a good beer. It could have been toilet fluid with whipped cream over the top of it. You wouldn't know, but your eyes were telling you even at that young age, because you saw the head on the beer, that's a good pint. I've drank that before when I was in here last week, and you were never in the pub in your life. But to a certain extent, I'm one of those guys, especially with my beers, I like to see the head on them. As I get older now, I obviously know you can drink like a lot of beers, like you can get ones that haven't got a head on it, and as soon as you take a taste in it, it's like a disco happening in your mouth. It's absolutely fantastic flavours. But as I say, when you're younger, that's the way you tend to trail of thought. And with something like this, it's only 4%, traditional Scottish ale, brewed for the masses, shipped probably all over the world, this stuff, I would say, internet, and you get all these guys, some guys sitting in Canada and all that, third generation Scots, and sees Ben Nevis, and his great grandfather climbed it or something like that, and he has to buy a pickup truck full of it just to be sentimental and be closer to his great grandfather. And that's the type of market they're aiming for. I don't think they're actually aiming for the likes of people who live in Scotland, but then again, do sell it in the supermarkets, so it has got a market. So anyway, I'm babbling a lot of crap now, aren't I? So anyway, back in here for another sip of the Ben Nevis by Traditional Ales of Scotland. Yeah, it's bog standard. It's a session beer. It's something, yeah, would I drink it again? Yes, I probably would. So anyway, if you see Traditional Ales of Scotland, Ben Nevis, India Pale Ale, and I've never seen a pale ale as dark as that, an Indian pale ale as dark as that, but there'll be people out there, maybe if they've watched all this video, would maybe say, oh yeah, such and such is just as dark, whatever. I'd like to hear your comment. So anyway, I'm going to give this a So Fucking Drunk rating. And is it one I'm going to return to? Yeah, it probably is. If I saw it or somebody offered me it, yeah, I'd had that before, it's okay. It's a session ale. That's all it is, it's a good session ale. I'm going to give it a So Fucking Drunk rating of 6 out of 10. So anyway, if you've seen the Ben Nevis, you fancy a couple of bottles, have a go at it. It's cheap, it's in most supermarkets. Pick it up, and if you've had it before, or you can add anything to my video, feel free to leave a comment. And So Fucking Drunk, I'll maybe see you in another ale review. Ciao for now. Keep drinking the good beer. Slangy far.